Hey y'all, welcome to Sunshine Haze. I am Aja A. For those of y'all that are just tuning into my channel, what's good, what's up? Hello to all of my subscribers. I've been getting a few new subscribers in the past few days, so no, really, what's up, what's good? Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for coming over to my channel. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are dope. Alright, so today's video is not a moon video. However, I do have moon videos up for whatever moon has passed. I've been recording videos non-stop for the past few weeks, it seems like. I actually have had notes for this video for like a month or so, and I'm just now getting around to recording them, which is crazy because we are now in a Mercury retrograde too. So I'm like, oh, I'm actually recording this. This is cool. So yeah, this video is about the Mars retrograde. As you guys know, we've got hella planets, and I thought I saw a spider. We've got hella spiders are mad disrespectful. Do y'all know how many spiders have like landed on me this summer, like just in the past couple months alone? And I know spiders mean like money and abundance, but for real, God, the universe, you could keep that. Like, give me the abundance, but keep the spiders, for real. Okay, anyway, so this video is about Mars retrograde. Yo, I'm late. I'm looking at when it started and when it ends, and I'm like, damn, I should have told y'all about this a minute ago. So the Mars retrograde started on June 26th. Started on June 26th in 9 degrees of Aquarius, and this one is interesting. It's actually going to end in 28 degrees on the 28th in Capricorn. So I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second, but not my energy. Listen to me, my energy is a little off, but it actually is. I was talking about that in my other videos, because we are dealing with this Capricorn. I'm sorry, not Capricorn. I am a rising Capricorn. We are dealing with this Aquarius full moon and total lunar eclipse energy under the Cancer lunar cycle. I said my energy is like, oh yeah, I crack myself up sometimes. Let's not burn down the blinds. There we go. Meant to say the seat was off. I don't know why I said energy. Cause I be wildin'. Okay, anyways, y'all. So for those of you guys that don't know what a retrograde is, it is actually just an optical illusion. It's when the planet appears as if it's spinning backwards, but it's actually not. It just has to do with that planet's placement in relation to Earth and those planets' movement around the sun. And in the way that it is moving, it makes it look as if it's spinning backwards to us. Y'all hear about Mercury all the time, and we are in a Mercury retrograde in wild ass Leo. But everybody hears and talks about Mercury for the most part. People just blame shit on Mercury, and you know, it's very justified most times. But we've got hella planets in retrograde. We've got Saturn in retrograde, Pluto is in retrograde currently, Jupiter just went direct, Mars, Neptune, excuse me, and Mercury, and I think we're coming up on Uranus going into retrograde at the end of the month, if I remember correctly. My tea is almost gone. My allergies are on 10. I apologize in advance, y'all. But yeah, so Mars is now in retrograde. So Mars is looking like it's spinning backwards to us right now. And Mars is actually a personal planet. So it is like Mercury. And the reason why people blame shit on Mercury is because Mercury is also a personal planet. With the personal planets going retrograde, it tends to affect us more so on a physical level. Like, we can actually see the effects as opposed to the outer planets that affect us on a more subconscious or a spiritual level, like Saturn or Neptune or Uranus or Pluto. So because it's a personal planet, this energy is more prominent, it's more physical, it's more tangible, and it kind of comes in and looks like it fucks with us a little bit more, right? Mars is the planet of action. So Mercury is the planet of intellect and logic, and that's why shit seems so effed off during that time. And then when you get to Mars, Mars is actually all about our action. And so Mars is going to start its retrograde in one sign. It's starting in Aquarius, and Aquarius is a sign associated with the collective. Aquarius is a very, because we're talking about a retrograde, we tend to tip a little bit more into the shadow energies. Sorry, y'all. There's a return, and I want to finish this video. I don't want to hit pause, so I'm just going to close the door. Because I usually record my videos at the school or like at home, but I'm at my friend's house right now, and anytime I record, especially with Mercury being in retrograde, it's like up and there's a distraction or an interruption. So we're just gonna nip that in the bud right now. Aquarius, sign associated with the collective. Very rebellious energy, because we're talking about the retrograde. We kind of tip a little bit over into the shadow side of these zodiac sign energies, dealing with a little bit of rebellion. Aquarius can be very stubborn, very strong-minded, have a very strong personality, but on the other hand, Aquarius is a very innovative sign. It's a sign that resonates with a very individualistic energy. So with Mars being in retrograde, we could be dealing with like aggression in regards to our actions. So we could be looking at like violence, and also like a collective or a group think shift. So the ways that things are happening right now, the ways that people are thinking, and the actions that they're taking towards changing these things could seem to collectively change, because we're dealing with Aquarius. This retrograde is really going to bring in an energy that shows us that we need to take a break or make a shift from the things that have been going on in the ways that we have been going about doing things. And this is not just going to be on a personal level, because this energy is a planetary energy. It's going to be hitting everybody and affecting everybody a little bit differently depending on the degrees and the signs that your planets are in. But Mars rules our action. So, you know, we will be feeling a little restricted as far as new ideas or wanting to take new steps go. But we will be, because this is a planet in retrograde, and retrogrades are time for reflection and introspection, we will be seeing the ways in which we need to change our action. Just because of the energy that we're dealing with, we'll be at a place where we're like, damn, I want to change things, I see what needs to be changed, but we'll be feeling a little restricted. And because this is Mars, and Mars is the planet of aggression, as far as our actions go, or as far as things happening in the physical for us, there could be some major shifts, there could be some major change. For example, on like a wider scale, we're looking at the crisis at the border. I hate saying that, to be completely honest. Looking at the crisis at the border, you know, it hasn't been looking good for people on the side of morality, for real. But with Mars being in retrograde, it's going to start to come out how this is wrong, how things need to be changed, the moves that we need to be making. But this retrograde energy is very heavy, and this is in Aquarius. It's this air energy dealing with this aggressive planet, kind of placing restrictions on maybe, you know, people actually making moves to really truly change things. We'll most likely see a shift when Mars goes direct, to be completely honest, especially because Mars is also retrograding in Capricorn, and that's all about making plans and building upon foundations and stuff, and I will get to that in a second, okay? On a personal level, for example, you could be looking at, you know, maybe something like a job and a promotion you've been trying to get. In this Mars retrograde, you may be finally seeing, oh, I see that I need to be doing things this way or doing things this way, but you'll come to a point to where you feel like, I know what I need to do now, but I feel like I'm kind of stuck. And that is Mars retrograde energy, just in general. This part of the retrograde falls in Aquarius, and Aquarius is a fixed sign. So as I said, we're talking about the air element, but the fixed signs come in the middle of the season, and Aquarius falls in the middle of the winter season. And the winter season is all about, you know, endings and transformations and cycles completing so that you can make way for a new, like the springtime. So this Mars retrograde is going to, if you're taking the time to actually reflect, my little slogan for the retrogrades is reflect and correct. So if you're taking the time to actually reflect on the things that Mars governs in our lives and actually doing some work and seeing the shifts that are happening and seeing where things need to be changed, excuse me, sorry guys, you'll come to a point to where you see what's wrong in the ways that you're physically moving, and you'll be shown the ways in which to correct it. Now, moving on from Mars retrograding in Capricorn, Mars is also going to retrograde into, moving on from Mars retrograding in Aquarius, Mars is also retrograding into Capricorn. So it goes back into Capricorn on August 13th, and that's in a couple weeks. And it ends in Capricorn on the 28th. And so it kind of gives you this feeling, that energy kind of gives you this feeling of taking one step forward, but then falling 2 steps behind. However, with this Mars energy, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because coming into that energy is almost like giving you a second opportunity to reevaluate the things that you're doing, and if you're doing them the right way, so to speak. Giving you a chance to double check that, you know, things are the way that they're supposed to be, and that's Capricorn energy. Double checking on the plans, putting the plans into place. Now, this planet is going to be in retrograde, joining its other planets, Saturn and Pluto, in Capricorn as well. So this is a very, because Capricorn is not an easy or a light energy. This is a very intense, heavy energy, but this is bringing in, with Mars going into retrograde in there with Saturn and Pluto, it's bringing you to a point to where the energies of Saturn and Pluto are more reflective, or more introspective, or more on a higher level. Mars coming in, coupling with those 2 planets, all of those energies coming together, you now have the insight, and now you have the ideas on how to make moves on the insight that you have just developed, you know. Now Capricorn is cardinal. That's a mouthful, y'all. Capricorn is cardinal, and it's also an earth sign. So Mars being in retrograde in Capricorn, it kind of almost in a sense slows Mars down. So this is actually a little bit of a benefit to us. Slows Mars down a little bit so that we can reflect on our actions and our approaches and the things that we're doing in order to ensure stability. So as I was saying, Capricorn lends that builder's energy. Capricorn is all about structure, all about planning things out, and all about monetizing on those plans that we make. Capricorn rising, shout out to my Capricorns. I got other planets in Capricorn too, like Neptune, I think. Yeah, I believe so. And now, because Capricorn is cardinal, and cardinal signs are the signs that start the seasons. Capricorn starts the winter season. Because Capricorn is cardinal, we're talking about that winter energy, all about, again, changing things or ending things, ending cycles, making way for certain transformations. This energy coming in with this retrograde is really showing you how to make the moves to do away with the things that you don't need in order to build upon and make space for the things that you do, or the things that you do want to do. Because we're in retrograde and we're talking about Mars retrograding in Capricorn, we're going to be looking at a little bit of restriction in regards to making money, career advancement or progression. So during this time, like, I wouldn't really expect for there to be like promotions, or expect for, you know, things to be happening as quick as you want them to. That's not to say that you couldn't be offered a promotion. That's not to say that, you know, you won't find a new job, but you won't really see or reap any benefits of any of those changes until Mars and Mercury are direct. So if things like that happen during this time, you just got to be very mindful about the way that you're making moves, okay? We may be, that's interesting, I forgot about those notes. We may be feeling a little overwhelmed and be feeling like we want to detach and just kind of remove ourselves from everything that we have going on around us. And that is the Capricorn energy coupling with Mars being in retrograde. We will be wanting to take the action to move away so that we don't have to take the action. Kind of residing in that Capricorn, like, introvert energy. But because Mars is in Capricorn, it's going to show us where we need to stay strong, where we need to keep the faith. I did my birthday spread on my birthday back in June, and I did come to the point I did pull the Seven of Wands for myself for August. So it's very interesting. I've got a lot of Capricorn in my chart. I'm just looking at these notes now, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. If you've got Mars in retrograde in your chart, you probably a person that has a little bit of difficulty with assertion. You may have a little bit of an indirect nature. You may move a little bit like a Cancer, you know. You may have a little bit of an indirect nature. You may not always go straight to the point. You may beat around the bush or talk in circles, if that makes sense. And people with Mars in retrograde sometimes also tend to have very short tempers and maybe hot heads. So think of that natal Mars energy kind of lending itself to us, to everybody. So those are energies that we may all be dealing with during this Mars retrograde. So we may be having a hard time like standing up for ourselves for this particular time. We may be, you know, not really wanting to approach our problems or do the things that we need to do in a very direct manner. And then at this time we may just feel like we're at it, like things are on a short fuse, like you could snap at any moment. And that is Mars retrograde energy, especially with everything going on in the world today. That is kind of what's going to be lended to us during this time. And if I'm being completely honest, like thinking about, you know, the past couple of months, because Mars went retrograde at the end of June, like, well, not the past couple months, the past like July, thinking about it, like, yeah, there have been instances in where like I've been feeling like, wow, my temper is really short. I don't really have the patience that I normally have, or feeling like I don't really want to say that, or I don't really want to do that, or maybe I'll do this way. You know, that is an energy that has been kind of prominent for me. And I'm looking at this like my Mars is not in Capricorn, but I've got a lot of Earth in Capricorn in my chart. So I don't even have a note here for you guys talking about that. I'm missing a whole section of notes, so I'm gonna just go off the top of my head about this one. Yeah, so before I move into that, we may be feeling, that's the type of energy that we're going to be dealing with. And just keep in mind that is hella planets in retrograde, and it's also a lot going on with the eclipses happening this summer, and the moons, and just being in the season that the moon is at home in the lunar season, and being in, you know, wild Leo solar season, and all of that stuff that's happening. Like, this is an intense time, as I was saying earlier in this video. Like, I've been walking on a cloud, just like, I'm like, what's going on? What is going on in life right now? What is happening? And now, because I don't have notes here, but I do want to talk to you guys about the numerology of this retrograde. This retrograde starts at 9 degrees in Aquarius. 9 is the number of endings. It's also a very divine number. So it has to do with cycles. It has to do with completing cycles, transformation, phasing things out, making space for new things. And this is in 9 degrees of Aquarius. So looking at this retrograde in Mars in regards to our action, a lot of this reflection and a lot of the insight that you're going to gather during this time will be in regards to, you know, what's happening with me in the collective and what's not working. What moves am I making that are not helping me fall into alignment with what I need to be doing outside of myself externally? Or, you know, what's going on out there that I'm not rocking with? What needs to be changed in society? That's really what this 9 degrees in Aquarius energy is bringing about for us. And this retrograde, what is that, 11 plus 8, 19, 25. And it goes into retrograde on a 7-day. So whatever shifts or changes in the collective group mentality is happening, this is all divine. 7 is a divine number, having to do with, you know, introspection, having to do with, it's one of the holy numbers. So everything happening with Mars retrograding in Aquarius starting in 9 degrees is saying, okay, look, there are some things collectively that need to be shifted, and this retrograde in Mars is going to show us where we're flawed as a collective, where you can contribute to kind of, you know, working on these flaws within the collective as well. Now the retrograde is ending on August 28th in 28 degrees. Okay, what day is this? 11. It's a 2-day. That's a 2-day, and it breaks down 2 of 1, because you got 2 plus 8 for the actual degree. So dealing with the 2 and the 8 energy, that's all about cohesiveness. It's all about peace. That's all about harmony. And now I'm talking about Mars retrograde ending on August 28th and 28 degrees. All about peace, all about harmony, all about coming together. And then the 8 energy is all about success, all about wealth, all about abundance, and actually, you know, building upon, or actually taking the foundations that you've built and building upon them. People with like the 8 life path are known for being like, you know, business people, entrepreneurs, you know, really knowing how to get to the money. So dealing with this 2 and 8 energy of Mars ending the retrograde, Mars going direct in 28 degrees of Capricorn is saying, okay, everything that we learn or that we reflect on or that we come to in this particular retrograde. Are there mosquito? I don't want mosquito bites. Oh my gosh. Is saying any actions or any approaches that you shifted during this time, really take what you learned during this retrograde, what you reflected on, what you came up with, and put that into play once Mars goes direct, because those energies that you harness can really help you build upon the things that you want and need in life, and they can also help those things become successful, help those things turn out successfully for you. I was like, that doesn't sound right. What did I say? This is on a 2-day, so all about peace, all about harmony, all about cohesiveness. So bringing and merging your ideas and your energy to match it together is what this retrograde is all about as far as numerology is concerned, okay? All right, you guys, so I think we're going to wrap it up now. Mars is retrograding in Aquarius and Capricorn, so, you know, a lot of changes in our surroundings and our perspective, because we're dealing with an air sign and we're dealing with an earth sign. So a lot of things shifting for us in regards to our foundations and our logical approach, and then taking actions based off of the things that we're learning. New approaches to building success. So Mars retrograde can be kind of crazy in the physical while it's happening, but everything happening is so that you can get to the bread, get to the money, get to the point that you really want to be in. All right? Hey Spanky, I'm almost done. Hi Spanky. I don't even think he's gonna come out here. Are you gonna come kick it with me? Come on. Did you just want some fresh air? Okay. Okay, you guys. So yeah, we'll be dealing with a little bit of restriction, a little bit of intensity, because we're dealing with Mars, and it's all about, you know, our instinctual nature, maybe feeling a little bit on edge. And because we're dealing with Aquarius and Capricorn energy, you may be feeling a disconnect in actually making physical moves, because we are talking about Mars. Yo, anything that dangles, I'd be thinking is a spider. Yo, have you seen them? Like, oh no, what is that? Okay, so the people who are going to be truly affected by this particular retrograde are people with Mars in retrograde in their natal charts. If you've got Mars in Aquarius or Capricorn, you can definitely count on some shifts, or, you know, some things kind of being a little shaky for you. If you've got Mars in Earth or Mars in Air, definitely for sure. If you've got heavy Capricorn or heavy Aquarius in your charts, or for sure those placements in your personal planets, this retrograde is going to affect you too. And then, as I always say, if you've got any personal planets, or for sure like Mars or any of your Aquarian or Capricorn planets in 9 degrees or 28 degrees, or within a couple of degrees of those numbers, you can definitely expect to see some sort of shifts or feel some sort of change on a spiritual or energetic level, you guys. All right, so that's it for Mars. As I was saying, y'all, I have a lot of videos up. It's a bunch of retrogrades going on currently, so just go on and hit the playlist down below and you can check out all of those videos that I have. We've got Mercury in retrograde. I'm sorry to everybody in advance for these videos going up so late. I'm blaming it on Mercury like everybody else during this retrograde. I've got Cancer lunar cycle tarot forecasts up, and those forecasts are good up through mid-August. Then I'll be putting out the new moon. Look, I'm gonna try to get those new moon and Leo forecasts up as close to the new moon as possible, but again, Mercury is in retrograde in Leo, and my Mercury's in Leo, so like I said, bear with me, y'all. And I say I've got retrograde videos, I've got new moon forecasts up. I also have a summer solstice tarot forecast up for each sign, and that is giving you guys some insight into what's going to be popping off for everybody from June to September until we go into the fall season. And what else? We just had a full moon in Aquarius and a total lunar eclipse in Aquarius as well. That video is up too. Check that out. That's why I've been feeling like I've been walking on a cloud. I've got everything I'm talking about in that video. I have a lot of that in my chart. You know, my Saturn is in Aquarius in my first house, so I deal with that energy kind of governs me. And then I am a Cancer sun and a Cancer moon, and the moon is in 4 degrees. My moon is in 4 degrees. You know, it's a lot going on in my chart. I've been feeling a little off, a little crazy, but I still wanted to get these videos out to you. I think that's it. I don't think I need to plug anything else. I told y'all about all the videos to watch. So yeah, go watch those videos. If you like the video, this video, go on and hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions or comments about anything that I said in this video, go on and drop them down below. I check my channel pretty frequently, so I'll get back to you within like 1 or 2 days. If you know anybody that knows about Mars or that actually pays attention to the astrologies, go on and send them this video. This one is interesting. I wish I could have gotten it up a little bit sooner, but we've still got about a month of Mars retrograde left, so hopefully this can give somebody some insight, so you know, y'all not wilding out completely. I'm gonna watch this myself because I'm thinking about my day today. It's a 5-day, y'all. Crazy energy. Thinking about my day today, and I'm like, oh, that was Mercury retrograde, but that was Mercury and Mars retrograde, and the fact that it's a 5-day, wild shit. What else, you guys? I said like, comment. If you're still listening to me talk, go on and hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with when I put out more videos of me talking. No, I appreciate y'all for listening though, and as I was saying, go on and share the video if you know anybody that might be interested in watching it. You guys share my videos a lot, and that actually contributes a lot of growth to my channel, so I appreciate y'all. Y'all are some true G's for that. Shout out to y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. I think I always have to do this. I always do this. Did I say that? Did I say that? But I think that's it, you guys. So thank you for watching. Tune in for the rest of my moon videos, and I will be back for this retrograde series once we hit that Uranus retrograde. I believe that's happening at the end of this month. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.